Hi, welcome all. My name is Mohit, and this is Introduction to HTML and CSS. And before I start, I would like to tell you something about me. My name is Mohit, and I'm a community learning specialist at DoSpace. And I have been doing this class for almost 3 months now. And then I used to work with Dell computers. I was in coding. I used to code with HTML, WordPress, and some part of Java language too. So let's start today's class. So I'll be teaching you some basic things about HTML. What is HTML? And what do you want to, what can you do with HTML? How you can code with HTML? And then further, we'll be going to a basic page layout of HTML. That what is the basic page looks like, and what changes you can do in your code, how you can modify the code. And also, I'll be talking about some of the free resources which you can go online and you can use them for free to learning about HTML. Okay, so let's start with introduction to HTML. So the first slide that I have is what is HTML? So HTML stand for hypertext markup language, and it's a language used to create web pages. And using HTML, you can create a web page with text, graphics, sounds, and video. So now you know the definition of HTML, what HTML stands for, and what's the abbreviation for. And HTML, the basic function of HTML is to create a web page. So whatever page you see, anything on internet, for example, if I go choose Google here and I type in Google, let's say Omaha. If I type Omaha here, and it gives me so many things about Omaha. And if I go here and just type, any page about Omaha, every page that has been on internet, it has been set up on HTML. Okay, thank you. People have been telling me that they can see the information. Perfect. So yeah, so I was saying that, all the information that is on, on any page, they have been set up in HTML. So all the pages, they are a combination of HTML pages. So all the pages, they have been linked with each other, and they have been created in HTML. And all the things that you see on a page, like graphics, sound, video, those are part of HTML. Now, some of them, they are in CSS. So CSS is another thing, which is, we can say it's an extension of HTML. And with CSS, we can do more things with HTML. For example, if I want to write a basic page in HTML, I will write that page in HTML. But if I want some graphics, if I want some videos, if I want some sounds, if I want to have, different kind of text format, if I want to have different color, if I want to have, different background of pages, different type of text and all those things, those, more things can be done in CSS. And then further, Java can also be integrated, and you can integrate so many languages into HTML, and you can make page more and more advanced and more good looking, or more and more fancy. You can do so many things with HTML language. So the basic is you can integrate so many things into HTML language. And now, like nowadays, they have been making websites on WordPress and Wix.com, and there are so many like those in the market. Like Google site, you can make free website on Google site also. So all of them, they have, the basic is HTML. So we started from HTML, and then we have gone further, and we have developed new resources and new tools. And those are the things which not have been written in HTML, but the basic of writing every page is HTML. So they are the tools which write the code in HTML, and they tell you all the things how it can be written in HTML. Okay, so now I'm going to show you. Yes, it is. So WordPress is a, so you can say WordPress is a tool that you can work around WordPress and it writes the code in the backend. So it always write the code in the backend in HTML language. The basic is always HTML. So whenever you work as a software developer or you are designing a website, so there are two things which you should always know before the very start. So the first thing is called front end user and the second thing is called back end user. And as you can say from the name, you can differentiate with the names. The front end user is someone who sees what is at the front end. For example, I just pulled up this page here, Omaha, about Omaha, and I'm going to show you here. Yeah, so this is the page. So I just wrote a URL which is omaha.com. So this is all the information about Omaha. So the page that I am seeing here is as a front end user. But if I am working on this page as a software developer, if I'm working on this page as a backend user, I can see what is the code that has been written in any of the pages. And there's a way to see that. For example, if I want to see, let's say, code of the page. So whenever you want to see code of a page, you right click with your touchpad, or if you're using a desktop, you have mouse connected to it. You take your thing, you take your mouse, cursor to something that you want to inspect the code. You right click on this and then you will see these options here. So if I click on inspect, or you can also use a shortcut key, which is Control Shift plus I. So whenever you click on inspect here, it is going to show you the code of the page. For example, I just did inspect and then I saw the code which is written in HTML on the right hand side. Now it can be, so do you see all this code here in the blue? So the blue section is the code of the element that I inspect, and this all of the code is for that page specifically. And now you can see this is a very long code. Why it is a very long code? Because we have so many text here, we have so many colors, we have so many audios, videos, and picture. We have a picture of some health officials here. We have this underlined top story, and then we have underlines, we have different colors, we have different kind of fonts. So you see this hunt for medical, and then we say update 3 hours ago. uh, let's see, we have a question here. So I'm going to also keep checking on my chart as I go. So, and I'll see if someone has a question, and we'll keep answering those questions too. So do you see all of this information here? And then we have a code here for all this thing. And then we have and then we are going to see the basic code of a HTML page in few moments, and then I'll tell you how these codes have been built up. We have a message. Let's see if it pops up here. Okay, so this is how you can inspect, and you can see how a page code has been written. Now there's another thing. You can see what the code has been written, but you cannot make changes to the code. Only the person who has administrative account, who has ability to go into the backend. I can see what is the code here, but I won't be able to make the change in the code. So this is about some person who has administrative right to change the code. So I'll give you an example. For example, if I'm working with a school, I can go to my school website and I can see what is on the website, and I can click on inspect, right click like I did. So I can see what things I can see, how the code has been written. I can see that. But in order to make the changes in the code, I have to have an administrative right or administrative account to go to my WordPress website and make changes to those codes. So this is how it work. So we have a question here. It says, are some of those links to other web pages in the code you are showing? Are some of those links to other? Yes. So do you see, so for example, if I'm going to click, for example, if I'm going to click on this advertisement here, Cox Internet. So this will take me to another page, which has been linked to another page. Okay, so this is how you link pages. And for linking pages, we have a very, specific code here. It's called href. I'm just trying to see if I can find something here for you. So it should be here because there are so many links here. So yeah, so let me see, href. So href is basically a link that how you can link. So here it is, href. So live 11 Nebraska confirmed. So this is another information about a different page. So href is specifically a link how you can connect the pages. So if I am on a page, and if I want to connect it to another page, or if I want to connect it to other information that has a different link, that has a different URL, I am going to put a code which is href equals, and then start with the tags here, and then this will be the URL. And so this is basically a code of connecting the two pages together. Very good question, by the way. Yes, yeah, I tell this is my presentation, but yeah, this is further ahead, but this is how it is connected. So yeah, so this is the answer to your question, like how you can connect all the pages. So you can see so as a front end user, going back to front end user and back end user. So right now on this page, I am also a front end user and I'm also a back end user. But then obviously I will not be able to make changes because for that I need information to change the code. Can you explain how images are? Yes. So I'm going to show you images. So image also has a code. Everything that you do in the HTML and CSS, everything has a specific code to it. Let's try to find a code for image that I can show you, so I can show you how this is connected. So do you see this frame border? So this is how this blue border is on the top, and then class style is also about the CSS content and how these are connected to different kind of colors and different kind of font sizes. And then you say display ink link text, the JavaScript, or some of the videos that has been made in the JavaScript, those are also connected. Let me see if I can find something for image. So this is main body container and site. These are also for the different containers, and this is row and division. So you see every page, this page specifically, they have been in different rows and different columns. So this is how they have been, classified. I'll show you if yeah, image is right here. So this is class division, card, img, md. So this is about the size of the image, that it's a medium size. And then you will also see a link which is connected to image top. So see card image, card image. So you will see all the things here, image headline. So these are all connected, how you can write code and how you can make changes to the code. So this was a brief introduction about HTML, that how you can see what the code has been written, what is HTML, and how you can create web page with text, graphics, sounds, and video. Now let's go to the basic characteristic of the HTML, basic building block of HTML. So every HTML language, every code in HTML, language, they have been written in tags. So the essence of HTML programming is tags. A tag is a keyword enclosed by angle brackets. So this is angle brackets and I. So this is a specific tag for an HTML programming. And there are opening and closing tags for many, but not all tags. The affected text is between the two tags. So between the brackets, whatever you write, this is a specific tag for that specific thing in HTML language. So how you can understand in a basic language is, all of us, I'm assuming all of us, we have worked in MS Word document. So when you word in MS Word document, you see there are different things that you can do in Word document, and there are different things you can do with your font and all those things. For example, if I want to make my uh, make my uh, the thing that I'm writing in bold, so I will do Control B. If I want to make it in italic, I will do Control I. If I want to change the font, then I will choose the different fonts for it. So this HTML language is pretty much similar to uh, MS Word, in a way that you can find a different tag for everything, and then those changes will occur in the HTML text that you're writing. So this I is a tag for writing, if we want to write our text into the tag. So these are the things that I want to write in italics, but that will be, so the only difference is this will be on the pages of on the Word pages, on the internet documents, and in the Word document you will be just writing the pages in a Word document. Otherwise they are pretty similar. So this was one of the tag example of a tag. So it's talking about more tags here. So it says the opening and closing tags are the same command, except the closing tag contain an additional forward slash. So for example, so this is a very important example to see. I was just talking about if we want to write something in a bold. So the B is the tag for writing thing in the bold. So for example, if I want to write something in bold letters on my page on internet, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a tag with bracket B, and then I'm going to write my word in those things, and then I'm going to close this with here, which is slash B. So whenever you start a tag, you do not start with a forward slash, but when you end it, you will end it with the slash B. So this is a tag to writing all the letters. So whatever you will, for example, if I'm writing, so this example is, I have started my bold tag with this, brackets and B, and then I have ended it with the brackets and B with a forward slash, and I'm writing warning in the middle of those tags, ending tags and the starting tags. So whatever I write in the middle of, in between starting and the ending tag, that thing will be in the bold. So warning will be in the bold if I use this tag. So, so as I said, as this presentation says, the essence of HTML programming is tag. So whatever you want to do is you have to find what are the specific tags of doing those things. And then when you do those things, and do use those tags, that will happen, and you will be able to see the changes on the internet page. So that's another thing about the tag, but let me see a question here. On an online forum that I read, you can make a list by doing list, and how would I do a bold list? So yeah, we just answered this question, that you can do bold with the control B tag here that we just explained. And then we have another question here. Is HTML related to XML or no? I mean, they have a similar way of doing it, but they are not related. Yeah, that language has tags too, but then it's kind of different. I will show you the basic page structure, and then you will be able to, understand it better. We're just going to cover that in, few as we go ahead in few minutes. So now this specific slide is talking about nested tags. So you can use one tag with another, and then those are called nested tags. For example, as we can see, the example is we are starting a tag with H1, and then we have italic tag I, and then we have letter written the nation, and then we have the closing the italic tag, and then we have closing on H1 tag. So H1 is for headline 1. So headline can go to 7 or 8, like H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, up to H8. So HTML has languages up to H8, and then we can, it can changes the differences between the size of the font that we are writing. So H1 is the biggest, and it goes decreasing further. And I1 is for italic. So do you guys can guess? So what would be the tag for H1I, the nation, and then I'm closing the I tag, and then I'm closing the H1 tag. I'll just give you I'll just give you a minute to guys to think that what will be the output of this tag. Well, talking about this particular slide is that whenever you are writing nested tag, whenever you're writing one tag with another, then you should close the nearest tag first. So I'm closing I first, which is I for italic. So do you see I'm closing I first, and then I'm closing H1. So which one is closer? I have to close that one. So this would be a bold list. So Jennifer, it depends if you're writing a list or if you are writing, you just want the text to be written as bold, or do you want just, or you want to write more things into the more? Let me see again. I think there's a list, B list. Yeah, that looks correct. B list. Yeah, and then you have brackets wrong. So we always use this brackets. So anyway, so this nested tag specifically, the answer would be I will see the nation. Yeah, you're welcome. So I will see the nation in heading 1 and in italic. So the answer of this tag, I won't say answer, but the code output of this tag would be the nation in headline 1 size, the font size, and in italics, the nation. And so this specific slide is talking about whenever you have two tags, so they call nested tags. When I'm using, two operations together of the tags, I should close the first tag, which is closer to my, written information on the page, and then I should close the other one. So this is about nested tag. So this was, so the next is the very important thing that we're going to do is the structure of a web page. So every HTML, now someone asked me about XML. I think that was Jennifer. No, that was someone else. Okay. But now you will see how it is different from XML. I mean, XML and HTML, they both have tags, but then you will see how the basic page is different, and then you will be able to see more differences as we go. So this is the structure of a web page. Whatever page that I'm writing, whatever page that I have intention to write on internet in HTML language, this will have the basic structure that is on right hand side of this slide, which starts from HTML and then head and then title and then head body HTML. So this is, and the one thing that I would like to tell here is that there could be so many tags between body, where body is starting and body ends, or anywhere. There could be so many tags. For example, if I want to write more words, if I want to add paragraphs, if I want to add headlines, if I want to add different audio, video, if I want to add images, if I want to add link to other pages, there could be so many tags. Like for example, we just saw here in the example of the Omaha page that we just did. Oh, sorry about that. X out of this. So we just did this pages. So there could be so many things in between these tags here, but the basic will be this. So it will always start from HTML and it will close at HTML, and you will see a difference here. You will notice this, that every closing tag has a forward slash. So this is the basic page, and then we can have so many things inside this page according to what we are thinking to do on the page. if I want to, for example, if I want to have a border on my page, if I want to have different color background on my page, if I want to write headlines, if I want to write paragraphs, if I want to write, different numeric numbers, if I want to write, different signs. So, and always remember to write everything, we have a specific tag. We have to find a specific tag for this. But the basic layout of the page would remain the same, which is the right side of your slide, which is called structure of a web page. So this will start with the HTML, head, title. Title is like you can write a title of the page, and then head and body and all those things. Now, before we go further in this website, I'm going to show you a very good resource that will be very helpful for you to learn HTML. And why I'm showing it right now, because this is the perfect time to see that resource here so that we can compare with the web page, the basic web page, and then we'll go further in the, presentation. So that that resource is W3 Schools Online. Well, W3 School has been on, on internet from a long, long time. I mean, when I was in my undergraduate, I learned things from W3 Schools. I don't know. I don't even know when it started, but it's a very good resource, and it's free. You don't have to pay anything. Just go to w3schools.com, and it's just not for HTML and CSS. It is for so many things. You can learn SQL, Python, Java, C++, website. You can also do, web building templates, XML. You can learn XML, HTML references, exercises, and now they have been doing some like certifications too. Like you can do exercises, you can make your own web template in HTML. You can use those templates for free, and then also you can make your own website, and you can do, as I told you, you can do certifications. So you can do certifications, do practices, and you can certify. You can make yourself certified that you have done, languages here. So this is the most important, resource out there, I would say. Yes, it is. It's absolutely free, Carla. You just go. You can just try it with me now. Actually, I will encourage you to try this right now. Go to w3schools.com. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, so go to w3schools.com. Just write this on any of the browser you're using, and it's absolutely free. And you won't believe, I had this in my undergraduate, class. I was taking HTML, but I learned more from W3 Schools than classes because there are so many things you can do. So, and then, I'm giving you a small demonstration about HTML, about W3 Schools now. So just, look at very carefully so that you can just try it by yourself. And then you will be able to see how to use this very important and nice thing here. So let's go for an HTML example. So this is the basic page. Let me just read this. Yes, absolutely. I mean, coding is just magic. You will just see in a minute what things it can do. And then it has changed a lot over the time, a lot. I mean, I started using it in 2006 or 2007, and it has changed a long, long way after that. So, and there are so many things you can do for sure. Now, let's start with an example on W3 Schools, and I'm going to show you how it works. So you just always go and click on try it yourself, and then you will see two windows when you will go to W3 Schools. One is the code on the left-hand side, and another is the code on right-hand side. Another is, two windows. One is on the left side, one is on the right side. And if you guys remember, we talked about front-end and the back-end user when we started this session. So you can see the difference right here. On the left-hand side of the screen is the back-end user. On the right-hand side of the screen is the front-end user. So as a front-end user, I can see only two things. This is a heading, this is a paragraph. And on the left-hand side is a back-end user, which is the code. So, and as I told you, as a backend, you can just see all the code and you can make changes to the code. And right hand side is the front end user that will see. Now on the left hand side, we have a code which is written for the right hand side, and it will be for every exercise. It will be same all throughout W3 schools. Whatever you learn Java, XML, SQL, whatever you learn, it will be the same. So they have, this is the great thing about them, which I like, that they have made it very synchronous, that it's like it's same all across. So it just give you how to learn. It's give you better idea how to learn this. So now let's go to the the code type. So let's see at the and put our focus on the left hand side of this window. So let's start from doc type HTML. The first thing is to just give us the information that this document type is HTML. So this is written in HTML. This is not a part of the code. So it's just written in HTML. That's what it's saying. Now we have the starting code from HTML, and then always remember the tag which is in the bracket. The starting tag will not have the /. And if we see in the last two rows, it has a /, which means that it is closing tag. Okay. So I start from HTML. This will be the basic page we just saw here. HTML, head, title, body, and HTML. So we'll go here and we are learning about the basic page. So HTML, head, title, this is page, title. So this is, here we are closing the tag. This is head, this is where we are starting the head of the page. And then we are writing body, and then we are writing H1. H1 we just discussed is headline 1. This is headline. This is paragraph, body, HTML. So we are closing the body and HTML tag here. So always remember, this is the specific code, how it is written. And then always remember also one thing which is in black that can be changed. So for example, if I want to make changes, this is a HTML class. Always want to make sure that I do not change. If I want to just modify the for example, if someone comes to you and they tell you, well, I have a website already, but I have few pages, I want to change content to the pages. I do not want to change any, I mean, they will not tell you if they don't know anything about code. They will just say I want to make changes to the content. You can go to the code and you can just change the code. So you just write what isn't written in headline and you click on run, and then you're going to see it just changes on the right hand side. Do you see that? So this is how we change the content. And now, for example, this is for everything. Whatever you write, you will click on run on the code and it will change for you. So what I'm trying to say here is that HTML has a specific code for everything, and it has a specific text for anything. Could I demo a syntax error? Well, that will be too much for this class. You can email us later and I can show you and give you some resources about this. So this is like a basic class. And syntax error, do you have a specific error? You can write it to me and then I can tell you later maybe what you are doing wrong. Anyway, so yeah, so this is how you change codes here. So this is how you write different things, and this is how you close it. Definition, and click on run. So this changes it everywhere, and this title doesn't include on this page because it's above the page, so it's not showing here the changes. And then we recently talked about different part of headings. So I am changing it from heading 1 to heading 3. Let's see how difference does it make. Did you see? Just change the size for this. So heading 1, 2, 3, as I told you, it just go from H1 to 2, 3. It will changes the different size for this. So this is how you go and you work on different definitions here and different codes here, and this is the basic code that you can write. And if you are on W3 Schools, you can go click on HTML Home here on the left-hand side, and then you will say HTML Introduction, HTML Editor. So it will give you, like a lesson for everything here. So it will also tell you how to add media, how to add plugins, how to add examples. And then we talked about in the very starting of this class that how can we also link the pages. So this will also tell you how to do the tag list and browser pages, everything. It has like almost, I won't say almost, it has everything that you may want to learn about HTML and how it works. So let me see, take a minute here if I have any questions here. Okay. Well, I did not get your question about syntax error. If you can give me more specification, I will try to answer this. Okay, but then so I was telling you this is the information here about all the information that you can, how to add a media, video, audio, plugins, YouTube. So for example, let's say if I want to add media and then I go here and then it will tell you what all the formats. So this will give you a lesson with all the information that what I can do with this lesson. And then you can also go on a try yourself link and then you can see how does it work. The other thing that I would like to talk about, let's see if we questions here. Does it matter the order that you were to do bold, heading, size, color, type, and how do you change the font style when coding? So Jennifer, it just depends upon you. For example, if I am writing a page, yeah, well, Eric said no. Yeah, if I'm writing a page, it depends upon me, what things I wanted in a bold or what things I wanted in italics and, what font sizes I want and all those things. So, but I can change it as it has been asked. So most probably it depends upon, for example, if I'm working for someone and they want me to make a specific website and they want their font in a specific format, they want different color. So it just depends how they want it, or if you are just making it for yourself, how you want it, and then you can change it accordingly. So it's the basic thing is like how you want to make this, and then you just change it. So this is about heading. So just we talk about heading. So heading 6. So they are up to heading 6 here, and then you have like paragraphs, how to make different paragraphs here. Formatting. We talked about italic. So see, if I want this text in bold, I will write. If I click on try myself, I will see there would be tag B. So this is writing in text bold. And if it is an I, this will be in italics. If I want subscript, I can also do subscript in HTML. So this is actually depend upon you. How do you want it? And then after you have decided how do you want it, you have to find the specific tag for this. Always remember, whatever you want to do in HTML, you have to know what is the specific tag for this. And which is not difficult. You just go to W3 Schools and just see try to find which is a different thing here, like what are you looking for, and then also see what are the tags for it. It's very easy. So why, you may have seen this, people, they have not been using HTML so much in writing nowadays. They do not build, things in HTML anymore. And it like WordPress and Wix.com, those things, they have been, growing too much. Like Canvas. Canvas is a very, a very big user interface. And most of the schools, like big universities, college, they have been using it as a learning management system, and that's a very big thing. Why? The reason is Canvas, WordPress, Wix, all of them, they write codes for you. You just have to learn user interface. So they ask you to learn their user interface, how to use user interface, how to add plugins. If you are working on WordPress, it's all about how you can add plugins and how you can make changes in a specific format on a dashboard. So they call it dashboard. So you just write things on the dashboard. You add plugins. You make changes, add images, and in the background they write code for you by itself. So you don't have to write it something by yourself. So why this is how coding has been changing over the past. Yes, CSS. Yeah, he's right. Absolutely. CSS will give you so many introduction. Yeah, we may not be able to. Yeah, I can show you some things here. Like CSS, you can change different tags. He's absolutely right. Different tags, and then also you can make different formats. So if you want to write a basic thing in HTML, you use HTML. But then if you want something specific, then you integrate CSS code in HTML. So just always go to CSS here on the top, and now you will see CSS introduction, syntax. Someone was talking about syntax error, so I'm not sure if you're talking about this, then you can see this here. Borders, if I want to have like different borders, like for example, I have borders on this side of the document, border color, if I want color border, if I want, text, if I want different fonts. I hope you're asking, I think you're asking about fonts. So if I want to change it, I can change it from here. So you can always think about that HTML is a basic thing, and then CSS gives it fancy things. For example, different fonts, different forms, different displays, different links, padding is a very important, and I would say it's a technical jargon in the HTML coding language. So padding basically means how far are you from the page. So how much is the difference? I'm sorry, not difference. How much is how much? So for example, if I have this font family and there's a border here, so what is the distance between them is called padding. So how are you distributing them basically? Margins is another word, background, and you can change background too. If I want to have, for example, this is a different background. Now let's see one of the code here in CSS, and then I'll be able to show you more how HTML and CSS they are integrated. So if you will see the code on the left hand side, it says it starts with always it will start with like doc type HTML, and it has a basic color now. I'm sorry, basic format now. HTML, head style, body background color light blue, and then it has H1. H1 is for headline, as we just studied. P1 is for paragraph, as we did, and then we have closing tags for body and HTML. Now this red thing, do you see this red thing? Background color light blue. This is a CSS code. And as I said, in the very starting of the class, that you can integrate code in different languages. So you can integrate code, CSS code in HTML, and then you further, you will go into coding, you will see you can integrate Java queries and HTML and so many things. So I have integrated a CSS code here, and it has a specific different bracket here. Do you see this? A different bracket. So I have a background color light blue. So this is giving it a different background color for this page, and I can change it. It's pretty much like as we did in the. So I'm making it red, and I'm clicking on run, and it will change into red. So it's very easy in the sense of there is no code for colors, like you can just write it in a very layman language. But then it's kind of difficult when you're building a big website, when you have to connect so many pages, when you have to add images, when you have to add links, when you have to add different fonts and different maybe so much text. For example, if we go to our first example, Omaha here again, and just see that this start from this red here, and there's this sign here, and there's a click here, there's a link that goes to different page, and then there's an image for health official here, And then we have different font sizes here. And this is also a link. Whichever is blue, it's a link we can click, and then different rows and different columns, different images. So much happening on this page. And then advertisement, they have a different code too. So we are learning about basic things here, like what is the basic of trying HTML and CSS. But then you obviously, if you are writing a very big website and if you have so many things happening on those websites, then your code will look like this. And this can be this can be very challenging sometimes to write and figure out where is the code exactly, and if you want to make changes to the code, how you can go ahead and make changes to that codes. But to be very honest, which is like, if you want to start, we have to start from basics. So this is basic, how you can go to CSS and how you can go to HTML, and all this information here. So, and you can also do some test here. So this was about the structure of a web pages here. The title tag, the title. Now this presentation is talking about what does the title tag do, text for how you can do text formatting by HTML, and what are the different. We just talked about these tags, boldface, italics, and then there would be similar underline if you want to underline something, new paragraph, and BR is next line, which is break row, is the abbreviation for this. So next line, and changing the font. And we just talked about changing the font sizes. We can do N1 to 7. So this is not CSS. This is just HTML. So just remind, CSS is giving it a different style. But then if you want different sizes, then it can be done from 1 to 7 from font. And then there will be different font sizes and colors. And then heading is from head 1 to 7. Now it has been 7. And W3 School says 6. And then aligning aligning text, I'm sorry. So pretty much like you can do center align, you can do, right align, left align, as we do in MS Word. And then, yeah, commenting a statement, that's what I would like to talk about. So commenting a statement means whenever you are writing a code, and sometime, like most of the time, when you go on upper level, what you do is you write text as a team, you write code as a team. So for example, if I have 10 people in my team and they're writing the code, I just want to make sure that I am writing what this code specify to. So if I will write like a tag like this, bracket exclamation mark, and then I write my code in this tag, that will not include in the code. That's just a note on this. So you can assume that this is just like a sticky note with this, just for understanding of my team. So that will not appear in the code, that will not count in the code, but this will be just for our information. And then we have this bling tag is also for Internet Explorer. So this is also, if you want to make some of the text blank on many of the websites, we have this. And then page formatting, body size, color. And this is another, this is, so this R is like CSS. If I want to make my body type, black and white, and inserting. So I'm sorry, someone in the starting, they talked about inserting image. I don't remember who, but then if you're here, you can see that this specific slide is about inserting image. So if you want to insert image, the tag, everything is about tags. So the tag is /img src image.ext. So this is so you have to upload the image on server which you are working, and then you give the path to that specific image. And then you can change the width and height of these attributes and border and all those things, alternate text. I mean, there's so much to it. And this link, linking other pages, we talked about this in the starting very briefly, href. Someone asked how we can link the pages. So the code is .haref. And then so much, and so further, as if for example, if I have to create a link to CNN website, so I will write ahref http, the URL for cnn.com, and I will close the tag. If I want to connect it to MIT, I will write the code for MIT and then MIT and close a tag. So there are so many things, you can do, obviously, and there are so many things, which you can do with the help of tags, and tags are necessities. If you want to do anything in HTML, and you just have to, start with learning what are the meaning of tags and what is the basic page layout and how you can write tags and how you can make changes to the tag and the content between the tags. Yeah, so this was all basic about how to start learning with HTML and CSS. Guys, we have 2 more minutes for this session. I can take some questions if you have, or if you would like to, just once I know how to make a website, how do I launch my website? Yeah, so if you know how to make a website, in order to launch it, you have to buy a domain, and then you have to pay someone to server. For the most common one is GoDaddy.com. So if you can go to GoDaddy.com, you just so it's basically like you purchase a domain name. For example, if I want to make my website, if I want to name it www.mohit.com, I will go to GoDaddy.com and I'll ask them, I want to get this domain name, and then if the domain name is available, they will give me domain name, and then I will call them to put this thing online on their server. So there will be another charge for that. So that's another different process. Would I be able to get a copy of it? Yes, please. Yes. So what all, let's see. Let's see, how should we? I can just send this presentation to all of you. Just please write me your email address on in the chat box, and then I will copy those email addresses, and any of you want this like open resource, I don't mind sharing it. This is a very long website, and it has like 67, 68 slides. And I would yes, I think I'm getting some email addresses here. Yes, for sure. Yes, I'll send you all of them. And then just I would just suggest you to go it very slow, because this has very detailed information. And just make sure you also keep practicing on W3 schools as you go different pages here, links and alternate texts. So the best thing would be read like 5 or 6 slides, and then go to W3 schools and try those things, and then just keep going in that way, and then you will be able to make good out of this for sure. Yeah, so let me see. Yes, I'm sending this to all of you. I'm just starting copying here. Yeah, so I'll send this all to you. Well, thank you so much, guys. And then, yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Cindy. And so we do this workshop, once a month, and I teach pretty much basic thing like this. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I teach this basic thing every month, but then I try to be in touch with my students who come to this workshop, and I try to answer them, and I also try to help them into getting into basic building website things. So if you just keep practicing yourself, and I wish you luck, and go further, just learning and trying W3 schools. And if you have something specific, just write us a question. It's hello@dospace.org. Well, thank you so much, guys. Take care of yourself and keep practicing, and write me if you have any questions. I'll get back to you. Thank you for joining us. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.